to another video. Today we are doing a video on please donate text effects, an in-depth tutorial. We'll be explaining all the different text effects, how to do them, and also how to stack them for your booth so you can do multiple at once. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like and subscribe. And also, this is my first video where I'm using my microphone. It makes it easier because for this video it would take a lot to type up because there's a lot of explanation. It's a lot easier to just say it all out loud for you guys to hear. And please excuse my voice right now because I'm not feeling that great, so I sound differently than I normally do, but anyways, let's get right into it. In order to do text effects and please donate, you'll need to visit these two different sites. The first one shows you all the different text effects. There's a list of them which you can use in please donate, and it gives examples of each of them. I'll be explaining how each one works in this video. And the second site is a list of fonts which you can use when you're changing your font in please donate on the booth. Both of these two different sites, they'll be linked in the description below. Now we're going to go over all the different text effects and how to do them. The first one is color. This is the one I get asked about the most. It is probably one of the most confusing ones, besides stroke, because that one's also a little bit confusing. But the reason why people find this confusing, even when they have the site, is because the site honestly does not explain that well for like the average person how to do these things, at least in this little text box here. So the reason that most people find it confusing is because they don't know what this is right here. It is a color code, and you can find it by looking it up. But before I go over that, let me just explain something. For each of these things, it tells you a tag. So like font color equals, font size equals, font face equals, stroke, BIUS, whatever. All of these things. If you want to have colored text, for example, you're going to take this tag and you're going to put it on the left side of the text that you want to change the color of. And then on the right side, this is what the site doesn't really explain that well also. You are going to put another tag basically. But it depends on what type of thing you want to do with the text, what type of effect. So if you want color or size or font face, all of those you'll put the angled brackets with /font and then another angled bracket at the end. And you need this because it specifies like this is the start and then the text and then this is the end. It specifies when the text starts being colored or like a different size or different font, and when it stops being or having a text effect. So that's what you need to know first. And now second, for color, people get confused about this because of the color code which I said earlier. This is a color code. Basically every single color out there has its own unique color code. Every single shade of every single color has a different color code. You can find the color code of a color, and you're going to use the color that you want to make the text the color of. You need to say, for example, I want to make my text orange. I would use this because that's what they're using for the orange candy in their example. They want their text to be orange because it's the orange candy. So I would look up whatever text color I want. So I want, say, yellow. So I'd look up on Google, yellow color code. Here's the color code right here. It just pops up. And I'm also going to use this site, I don't even know what it is, just to type everything out before I test it out in game, just to show you guys how this works. So first off, I would copy the whole example text in yellow. That's the part that's actually getting the text effect. So I would paste that, and then I would take the color code, if we're changing the color of it, and paste that right here instead of this color code, which is the orange one. So I want the yellow one, so I'm pasting the yellow one instead. So now this is telling me, oh, I want the font color to be yellow. I want the color to be yellow. And then this is just telling me, this is just telling me the end. This is telling me the start. And this is just whatever text you want. So I'd put, like, I don't know, this is yellow text. And that is basically how the colored text works. Now that we are in the game, we can try this out for ourselves. So, in order to prove to you guys that this is how you do it, I'm going to show you how to edit your booth and change the color or whatever you want. So, we just did the color one, so I'm going to go here to the pencil icon, which is edit the booth. You can also do it here by standing near your booth and editing it with the button E or holding on mobile. But I find it easier to just use the pencil because you can do it from anywhere. So you go here, and then here's where you would paste your booth text. So I'm going to paste the text that I already put in that site because that's the text I want to use for my booth. So to show that this is the yellow font, the one that I used with the yellow color code, you would just paste in here, and to show it before even applying it to your booth, just click outside the box and it'll show up. See, it's all yellow. This is yellow text. So this is what it's going to look like on the booth. Alright? So that's how to do colored text. Now, the next one is size. The next text effect is size. But for some of these, I'm pretty much just going to skip them because they're pretty self-explanatory. They're too similar to the ones I've already gone over. So for size, it's pretty much easy. You just change the number. Obviously, the smaller the number, the smaller the text is going to be. And I'm pretty sure there is a max, but it's somewhere around... I think it depends on what font you're using. So if you're using the default, I'm not sure what the font max is, but I think it depends upon what font you're using. So obviously you can figure that out because it's pretty easy. Now for font face, this is where we need to use the second site. So obviously you're just going to replace the name of the font with the font you want, just like the color one, except we're using a font name and not a color code. So for this one, we're going to put the font face on the left and the angle bracket with the slash font angle bracket on the right. So here's the different fonts for Please Donate, and most of these display on the right, and you can see what they look like arcade. This looks like the arcade text, and yeah, so I'm just gonna use, I guess, the arcade one just to show you guys. So I'm just gonna use arcade. So I would copy this again, copy the highlighted text to start off writing your text. I would paste it somewhere you can keep track of, like Notepad or something, and then I would use whatever font name you want. So whatever font you want, you copy the name and you replace the name in the example. So I want to use the arcade font, so I'm going to put arcade instead of the microma or microma. I don't know how to say that. So this is video game text. I'm going to put as my example because it's an arcade text, so it's going to look like it's in a video game. Now let's hop in game and show you guys. Okay guys, we're here in game again. So we're going to try out this text. So we're going to hit edit booth. We're going to paste our text. So for this one, it was to change our font. So to test it out, just click outside the box. And as you can see, it's like video game text. Now we're going to go over how to do the rest of the text effects. Basically the only one we really need to go over is the stroke, because the bold, the italic, the underline, the strike through, they're all pretty simple to understand. The rest of the stuff you don't really need to know how to do. None of them are really useful, and please donate. So these are all pretty self-explanatory based off of what I've taught you and how to use these different tags and how to end all the different text effects. So we're just going to focus on stroke for now, and you guys can figure this out based off of what I've told you so far. So for stroke is basically the outline of the text, and to change that, you would basically, what you're changing is either the color of the outline or the size of the outline, how thick it is. You don't really need to be able to change the transparency because it's not useful, and same with whatever this is, joins equals miter. I don't even know what that is. I've never used it before. So let's start off by copying this entire thing, this first part highlighted in yellow, and we're going to paste that here. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of the joins equals miter because we don't need that. And same thing with the transparency. Now let's make sure here at the end that there is no space in between the parenthesis and the angle bracket. You can't have a space there. And the other thing we need to make sure is that there's the stroke color equals and then the color code, and then make sure there's a space in between these two things. That is essential. So now we just need to put the ending part, and then in the middle put our text. So let's just put the ending, and keep in mind you just gotta make sure you remember which ones have what ending. It also tells you on the site. You'll remember after a while. You'll just memorize them all if you use them enough. So we'll just copy this ending for now, paste it there, and then in between is where our text is going to go. So let's first get a color code. So what color code do we want to use? Let's use purple. So let's find the purple color code. Here's the purple color code. So, or let's put magenta, actually. Magenta color code because it's a bit brighter, easier to see. So we'll copy that, and we'll put that instead of this color, which I'm pretty sure is cyan. So now our outline is gonna be purple, and the thickness is gonna be 2. We'll change it to 3 just for the example, but I usually use 2 to 3. That's a good size for decent sized text. And now let's put our text. Let's just put this text has purple outline. And guys, keep in mind, obviously this is not the sort of thing you're just gonna put on your booth. Like, you're not gonna put this text has purple outline. You're gonna put whatever you want, but I'm just using this as an example just to show you guys that this works in game. Okay, let's hop in game and show you guys. Okay guys, so again we're just gonna go to the pencil icon and we're gonna paste in our text. Now we did the purple outline just to show you guys with a thickness of 3. Now click to the right to see what it'll look like. And as you can see, this has or purple, I said magenta, but this text has purple outline, as you can see. So that's how you do the stroke, and you guys can figure out how to do the rest of the stuff because I've already taught you the essentials of how to do the rest of the things. And now we're going to move on to the next thing. Finally, you guys, we're just going to explain how you can stack all of these text effects. And yes, you can do that. Just keep in mind that you guys have a limit for your booths. And also, the more you donate, I'm pretty sure it goes by the old game version. You can join the old map to see the conversions, but the more you donate, the higher your max character count for your booth can be. So now we're just going to go over how to stack the different text effects, and you can do this. It's a little difficult to first understand, so I'll explain as best as I can. Basically, the tags that you want, you can put them in pretty much any order. It doesn't really matter in front of the word, so or the text that you want. So for example, say I want to do make something have a color and also have a stroke, like an outline. So I would copy this here, this first part, or you can copy it from here. So I'd put the font color part first, and then I also want it to have a stroke, so I'd put this part. So I'd put the stroke. I'd copy this entire thing because stroke is weird. They put the stroke and they don't list what the tag actually is. So copy it from here, copy that, and then we're just gonna, as before, we're gonna delete this part, joins equals miter, and this transparency part. So now we have the font part, so this is telling us what the font color is, and this is telling us what the stroke color is and how thick we want the stroke to be, or the outline. And now here's the thing that you got to keep in mind. So we're going to put our text, so text here, and now here's the thing you got to keep in mind. When you put the tags in front, it doesn't matter what order they're in, it's fine whatever way, but you have to keep in mind what order they're in for the ending of it, because you have to do it in reverse order. So for example, this one I'm doing font color, and I'm changing what the stroke is. So on the other side I would do stroke first, so I would copy the stroke part, the stroke ending. I'd put that first because it's basically like a reverse thing, kind of, where like the first will be the last and the last will be the first. Oops, sorry. So this, the font color, this will be at the end. The end for that one will be at the end, versus in the beginning. So it goes in reverse order. You guys just got to keep that in mind. So the font color, and then we'll put a color there. So let's just do green. We'll make the text green. So we'll copy this color code here and put that here. So that's going to be, the text is going to be green, and we want the stroke to be, let's just say like, let's put some yellow, or let's just put dark green, because I'm pretty sure that's light green, what we just copied. Dark green color code. So here's a color code right here. So that's going to be our outline color code. So it's going to be light green with an outline of dark green. And the thickness is 2. Again, we can just make it 3 just to show you guys. Or let's just keep it at 2 because it'll show you that it goes smaller and larger. And then, again, we need to put the ending, which is going to be the font color one because we already put the stroke one. So the font color is going to be just the font. So that is for color size, font face. All three of those things have the ending of the angle bracket / font angle bracket. So just copy that, put that on the end, I don't know why it went to the next line. Oh, I guess it just puts it to the next line. But just imagine this right here to be right here. Yeah, so it's going to be in reverse order. The color, stroke color, and then on the other side, stroke, then the font color ending. So let's just copy this and show you guys this in game. So let's make the text green text with dark green outline. And let's copy that and head in game to show you guys this stacking working. Okay guys, let's show you the stacking working in game. So again, we're going to go to the pencil icon and paste our text. So we did the green text with the dark green outline as our example. Let's click on the side to see what we did. And as you can see, I mean, you can't really see it that well, but we did have the green text with the dark green outline. And if we can make this like, I don't know, make this like 5 to make it a lot easier to see. So as you can see, it's not completely black, so the outline is dark green, as we said. So it's light green with dark green outline. And that is how you stack text effects. Okay everyone, that's all for today. Please feel free to reach out in the comments section if you had any questions at all. I'll be happy to answer them. And if you guys want to help me out, you can like donate to me in game or do an offline donation. As you can see, my username is BigExplodingDonkey. I'm saving for the Pumpkin Dominus, and any donations would be appreciated. Everything helps. Once I reach the Dominus, I'm going to be giving away everything I get afterwards. So if you guys enjoyed the video, please feel free to like and subscribe. And that's all for today, folks. Hope you have a great day, and see you guys next time.